What's going on, guys? I am the Walrus Jedi, and in today's video I will be covering Star Wars: The Truce at Bakura by Kathy Tears, and published by Bantam Spectra in November 1993. It's set in 4 ABY, or 4 years after the Battle of Yavin, and it's right after Return of the Jedi ends. So the movie ends, so basically the next day after their celebration, this book starts. If you like this video, then please consider liking and subscribing and hitting the notification bell for other Star Wars book reviews and other videos on video games, TV shows, movies, books, comics, and Star Wars news, all of that. There will be spoilers for this book, so this is your warning. And now to the dramatis personae. So first up, you have Luke Skywalker. Pretty obvious. Leia, again obvious. Han Solo, Chewbacca, C-3PO, and R2-D2. All of these are pretty obvious. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by telling you who they are. Governor Nereus, and he is the human imperial governor of Bakura. Then you have Gariel Captason, and she is the human, one of the senators of Bakura. She's human. And then you have Dev Sibwara. He is a human, and he was brainwashed. He's a brainwashed, Force-sensitive person, and he aids the Seerook. And then you have Pater Thanos, and he's the commander of the Imperials of Bakura. And then you do have a few Seerook characters. You have a Seerook that's blue, that they call Blue Scale. And he's the one doing like the brainwashing of Dev. And then you have Ferraraga. So they're kind of interesting to pronounce, and that one is like Dev's master. But those are like the most important Seerook. And now to recap the book. So in this book, the rebels, they just got done with their celebration on Endor, and they receive a message from the governor of Bakura saying he needs help. An alien force is attacking, and and this message wasn't sent to them. It was supposed to get to the Imperials, but obviously the Imperials are in disarray, having just lost the Emperor and the Death Star too and all that. So the rebels decide to go help Bakura, to help the citizens of Bakura, because that's the right thing to do, but also to hopefully get Bakura to join the Rebel Alliance. So Han, Luke, Leia, and, Chewie and the droids, along with several X-Wings, some few A-Wings, and a couple of other bigger ships, go to help Bakura. So they get to Bakura. They stumble across fighting between the Imperials and the Seerook aliens, these giant lizards. So they help batter the Seerook away. They manage to batter the Seerook away, and then they kind of land and, begin talks of a truce. And basically the governor is your classic scumbag. He's a bad guy. He's not a good guy, so obviously he doesn't really hold to the truce. So he basically uses the rebels to help get rid of the Seerook. And once the Seerook are no longer a threat, then he orders Commander Thanos, to fire on the rebels. So he does. And Luke, he was taken by the Seerook, because what the Seerook do they don't take prisoners. Well, they do, but what they do with the human prisoners is they take their soul and power their vehicles, their fighters with it. So they're really big scumbags. And they want Luke because Force-sensitive people are very helpful in that format. They can do it from long distances away. You don't even need to be that close, because the more powerful you are in the Force, the more useful to the Searook you are. So they want Luke, so they managed to capture him. And yeah, but it's relatively easy for Luke because, he just uses the Force to open up his restraints, and the human that they have brainwashed, Dev, Luke manages to break the brainwashing, and Dev aids him in escape, so they manage to take out a lot of the Searook while a battle is going on, because this is during, the Imperials turning on the rebels. So Luke manages to take control of the Searook vessel, and yeah, so long story short, the rebels win. The Searook run away, maybe to come back at a later day, it's hard to say. Bakura joins the Rebel Alliance. They send away the Imperials, the stormtroopers and all the, the personnel and all that. And, Dev unfortunately dies due to some injuries sustained while helping Luke. And Luke is sad because, Dev was Force sensitive, and he was hoping that Dev would be, his first student. So that's unfortunate. And yeah, and Commander Thanos decides to desert and join the Rebel Alliance, and he decides to help Bakura rebuild their defense fleet because it's been devastated with, the Searook and all that. And yeah, so yeah, pretty good. And that's where it ends. So what I liked, well, one thing that I like is it did have some ramifications for Luke in this book, meaning he had some internal injuries with his experience with getting zapped with Emperor Palpatine's Force lightning. He had to it weakened him some, and he had to recover. And another thing that I liked is Leia was dealing with the fact that Darth Vader was her father in this book. And I liked that Anakin appeared to her, and, he had a little chat, and it was kind of interesting. And, Obi-Wan appeared to Luke and basically told him that he needed to go to Bakura. At first, when you're reading this, you think, oh, this will just be a simple truce between the rebels and the Imperials to kind of do a ceasefire thing. No, it's actually because you throw in the aliens to kind of make it more interesting. So this book was more interesting than at first I thought. So that's good. The Searook are, they're horrible scumbags. They brainwash you, make you think you're scum and need help all the time and not worth it. And then they make you kiss up to them because, yeah, evil lizards. Man, a lot of lizard species in Star Wars are not very good. They're scumbags. So I do like the truce, you could say, where the rebels and the Imperials had to work together. I thought it was an interesting dynamic. So it's it's a shame that it didn't last very long. So I wouldn't mind seeing that again in a further expanded upon. And now what I didn't like, to be honest with you, there really isn't much that I didn't like in this book. It was a pretty easy read. It didn't take me forever to read. I enjoyed it. I feel like the characterizations of, Han, Luke, and Leia in that are great. I think the story was pretty cool. And I can't wait to read more EU novels. I'm excited for Luke to rebuild the Jedi Order. I can't wait for him to go recruiting people and, teaching and delving into Jedi lore and all that stuff. I'm so excited for that. Well, I would rate this book, I don't know, I'm going to give it an 8.5, I think. I really enjoyed this book. maybe a 9. I'm torn. I don't know if I want to do an 8.5 or 9. I liked this book, and it was a breath of fresh air, having just came off of the Bounty Hunter trilogy. Like that one was not very good, especially when I compare Truce of Bakura to that. It's like, oh yeah, night and day, so much better. So yeah, well, you can let me know what you thought of this book in the comments down below if you've read it. What did you think of this book? And yeah, what do you think of the Searook, the giant lizard guys? They're kind of scummy. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And until next time, thanks for watching.